Hey Kipsters, it's Mr. Dudley here with you today. I'm going to read page 58 and 59 out of the First Space Encyclopedia. Follow along with me, please. At the top right here, it says the solar system. That's telling us what this section is in. The morning star is the title of this particular section. The solar system is more like the chapter for that section. So the morning star. You wouldn't want to visit Venus. You'd be crushed in an instant and your remains fried to a crisp. This barren planet is covered in acid clouds and it has an incredibly dense atmosphere. I'm going to move over to this little illustration right here. From Earth, Venus is easiest to see when it appears to be furthest in the sky from the sun. So even though it looks like it's the furthest away, it's actually easiest to see. So where is it? Venus is the brightest planet. It can be seen in the early morning or early evening sky, depending on where it is in its orbit around the sun. That's why it's known as the morning or evening star. So since we can see it in the morning or in the evening, we call it the morning star. Let's go ahead and go to this next little subheading, a mass of clouds. The cloud layer is too thick to let much sunlight penetrate, but it does reflect a lot of light. In fact, after the moon, Venus is the brightest object in our night sky. And then let's look at this illustration down here of Venus, and we got a little label right here that tells us caused by chemicals in the atmosphere, the dark cloud tops, shown exaggerated in this image, blow around the planet. So the chemicals in the atmosphere are why the cloud tops are so dark and they're blowing around the planet. So those are kind of like clouds blowing around the planet you can see in the illustration. And then if you look at the next illustration, it says Venus is rocky plains without cloud cover. So if we took the clouds off of Venus, this is what it would look like with no clouds on it. This is what Venus looks like with its clouds. That is page 58. I want you to go back and answer the few questions that follow, and then we'll bring it back and read page 59. Okay, now I'm going to move on to reading page 59, starting with the subheading, So what is it like? This false color picture of Venus was made from data collected by probes, including the Magellan probe sent to Venus between 1989 and 1992. The blue areas represent huge plains of solid lava. The white, green, and brown areas are higher lands such as hills, mountains, volcanoes, and valleys. So as you can see in the picture, the blue, not the orange, but the brown, the white, and the green, those are showing us all the hills and volcanoes and mountains and valleys that are on Venus. Then we look at this little caption by the picture. The surface temperature of Venus is about 900 degrees Fahrenheit. So on a hot day in Houston, it might be 100, 110 degrees. Venus is 9 times hotter than that. Let's go down to the next caption. Venus spins on its axis slower than any other planet. It takes 243 Earth days to spin just once. So Venus spins on, like in Earth, it takes way less of a time. In one day, the Earth spins around its axis, but it takes Venus 243 days to spin. Let's look at the next subheading, Surface of Venus. Mount Mons is the highest volcano on Venus. This view of the surface of the planet exaggerates the height of Mount Mons to show its slopes in more detail. The volcano is named after Mat, the Egyptian goddess of truth and justice. So as we can see right here, this is Mount Mons on Venus. This is what it would look like if we were to get a camera on the planet. And then the last caption says, Venus spins in the opposite direction from the Earth, so the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. So on Earth, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, but on Venus, since it goes opposite, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. That is the end of page 59. I want you to go back and answer the questions that follow, and then we'll continue on with our reading lesson. Thank you guys.